Oh, I'm sorry. I was just eating after doing all my milling, my wood. So, I was just thinking, wow. I've done a few things here, going to mills, milling my own wood, but what I haven't done lately is really refine my question, refine what I'm doing here. So my original question was getting into the cell structure of wood and finding out like what makes wood a good construction material. Let's pull that back a little bit and just look at this. My first script. Woo! Okay, so what makes wood a good construction material? One, we have the cost of materials. That is, the wood is cheap, and the cost for its waste, because every time you buy a piece of lumber, unless you're buying it exactly a stud, which is 8 feet, which you don't have to cut, you're going to have waste. Plywood, the same thing. Unless it's one sheet that goes on, you're going to have waste. And that costs. If you use metal, the exact same principle applies, only your waste is 2 or 3 times the cost. I'll take a look at that later on. Number 2, ease of use. I'm Dan. I started doing some construction a little while ago with doing work in roofing, and we did some framing, and that's where I sort of picked up my basic skills. Basic skills equal this house. I'll show you some pictures. Metal is hard. I couldn't even begin to. I've got a saw for my wood. I've got several saws for my wood. For metal, basically I need grinders and I need welding equipment and I need particular drill bits and high-powered drills to drill through that stuff. Yes, if I was just a metal worker, I would have those things, no problem. But it's beyond me. And it's beyond a lot of people. Welding requires tickets that you need to go out and take courses on. Some would say a lot of construction, people in construction need to do that as well, but it's just easier. Easier to bang a nail than use a welding torch. Now, resources. Trees grow naturally, iron occurs naturally. But all it takes is for one person to cut down a tree and take it home and cut it up with their saws at home. They can make a little mill at home and they can basically build their own house. I have done that with a log, part of my firewood. Now, I could do that if I had a better mill. A friend of mine has a mill, but I can't. He's not around to show you that. It's just easier. You saw a mill down the road, Somass Mill, which takes in gigantic logs and in a matter of minutes makes those logs into usable pieces of wood. It takes a long, long time with many more resources, trucks, manpower, smelters, all sorts of things. From the ground to the house takes a long time for metal to be created to build a house. And the cost is huge. So that's where it is. Those are sort of my refining wonders, and that's how it goes.